Now we have a story of a personal triumph and, to overuse that hackneyed phrase, making a difference. And it's Jack Monroe. She's here live. She's been hailed a hero, rather, by charities and food banks across the country as her personal, single-handed fight to get budget items back on supermarket shelves has won.
So last month, Jack's viral tweets showed the shocking increase in the cost of basic items on the shelves, with some products in her local supermarket going up by as much as 344% in the last year. And since then, the supermarket has responded with its low-cost value ranges making a return. And Jack said that her recent visit was her happiest shopping experience in over a decade. Now, Jack Monroe is here. You're still slightly in shock, aren't you? Round of applause. When somebody says, oh, what's the point, one person can't change anything, you are it. You are the one person who has changed it. Just take us back a bit for those who don't know. Exactly what has happened and how it began, this particular issue that you had with... We just saw some pictures there of cans of vegetables and fruit and so on and pasta going up by a really exponential amount.
Yeah, so it's about 3.5 weeks ago now. I was laying in bed, radio alarm came on. There was a chat about the cost of living going up 5%. Didn't chime with my experiences, didn't chime with the experiences of many of my readers. So I went around the supermarket and recalculated like how much those prices had increased by the removal of basic ranges. Did a little tweet about it and have barely slept since.
And just so you said that baked beans were 22 pence, then 32 pence, and that's a 45% increase year on year. And then there was other things, wasn't there? This time last year, you said the cheapest rice at the same supermarket was 45 pence for a kilogram bag. Then it jumped to £1 for 500 grams. That's a 344% price increase. And that was your real-life experience and the experience of millions of people who are looking for the best, cheapest way to feed their families.
Yeah, but the supermarket in question, ASDA, they've been in touch and they've...
Well, tell us about the email you got from them.
So basically they've committed to putting their smartprice range back in their stores, and not just back in stores, but across all 581 of their stores in full by the end of February.
And you got an email personally from ASDA saying...
Yeah, we've been in communication for the last week or so.
But they said, you win.
About this.
We dropped
it's not really a win, though, is it? Because it's very interesting how sort of the media have been quite keen to frame it as like a battle or a row or me being demanding. And I was like, those just some grumpy tweets I did from my bed. I wasn't in a position, initially, to demand anything. Well, and then along the lines, they went, well, you know, how can we make this better? And I went kind of slightly sarcastically, put everything back to how it was.
Well, what's interesting here is that we hear it on the news and we read in our newspapers and online again and again, spokesmen for all the big supermarket chains saying that we're really sorry about this, but this is inflation, we simply have to pass these costs on. And what you were saying was, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's as simple as that. I think there are many ways to skin a cat, and I think there are many ways to get prices down, and it's not good enough just to say, we have no choice, we have to pass it on. You can find a way. And do you know how they've done it? How they've actually found a way to drop prices again? Well,
they're simply reversing back to basically where things were a year ago, or how their pricing structure was a year ago. So that I've no doubt that price rises will be applied sort of across the board to make up for the difference. But you know, they'll be more fairly and evenly applied, so a penny here and there rather than, you know, 55 pence on a bag of rice. And the difference in the responses from the big four supermarkets has been astounding, actually. ASDA were very quick to go, do you know what? Yes, we're not serving our core customer base like this. We're going to make it right. Sainsbury's were... just gave me a list of all the reasons why I was wrong. They were like, well, you could have jam instead of lemon curd. You could have this instead of that. I was like, they're not really addressing the core issue here. Tesco's boss came out in the papers and went, yeah, things are bad, they're going to get worse, never mind. And so I think that the others have underestimated the level of concern that consumers have around the cost of their everyday shopping.
And also the flexibility that's available to the supermarket chains to do what ASDA have done.
Yeah, and I think that they're all in competition with each other over prices. ASDA have historically, they've won the grocer's cheapest shopping basket for the last 26 years, and this was the first year that they hadn't. And now that ASDA are dropping their prices back down, the other supermarkets will have no choice, if they want to retain their customer base, but to follow suit.
Well, this is not product placement time for ASDA, but credit where it's due. It's as simple as that. But most of the credit to you, because
Yes,
this is as a
you.
result of you, as you say, sitting up, propped up in bed, tap, tap, tapping, and it's done the trick. And ASDA, we've spoken to them, they have confirmed it will stock its full smart price range in every single store in the UK, while Sainsbury's have told us that they are focused on delivering low prices through Price Lock and Aldi Price Match.
Tesco also tells they're committed to providing great value through their Aldi. Have you just said that?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, Morrison's then said that their stock they stock value range in every store. And just to be clear about the impact of it, in that it did actually make you cry.
Yeah.
When you went into the store and you saw the prices.
Absolutely overwhelming, because I no longer have to shop on such a strict budget as I have done over recent years.
And strict budget means putting things back on the shelf.
Yeah, I still shop
Well, it means
for
adding up as
£20
you.
a week.
I mean, I remember those days. You add up as you go around.
I walk around with a pen and paper, adding things
Yeah.
up, and I've just got used to over the last few months just getting less and less in my basket for that £20 every week. And this week, I literally had filled the basket up so much that every time I took a step, something slid out of it onto the floor. So I was walking around Asda with the basket over my arm and like a bag of muesli, a bag of porridge oats, a bag of pasta, like clutched to my chest, like a mum of like a million unruly children.
You think about and you think about the parents whose heart breaks when they can't
Absolutely.
feed their children the things that they want to feed them and have to go to food banks. And this is really credit to you.
I'm
well
just
done,
glad
Jack.
Congratulations.
It makes things a little bit easier for people. I mean, it's a lovely feel-good news story, but it's also the difference that it makes for people being able to buy food for themselves and
I
their
just love
family.
that it's a
Shop's
battle that you
phenomenal.
won from your bed. It's fantastic.
Thank you.